Tensions came to a boiling point in Geneva on Monday as the UNHRC convened a day-long commission of inquiry calling on Israel to cease using lethal force against those demonstrating along the border with the Gaza Strip. Meanwhile, outside the UN halls, NGO monitoring group UN Watch held a pro-Israel rally defending the country's right to defend itself. The UN, however, stood firm on the Commission's report released earlier this month, in which it accused the IDF of killing innocent civilians during the so-called March of Return protests that began in March 2018. Additionally, the Commission said that it, quote, found reasonable grounds to believe that Israeli snipers shot at journalists, health workers, children, and persons with disabilities, knowing that they were clearly recognizable as such, end quote. Further, the Commission's chairman, Santiago Canton, told reporters that, quote, in a situation of crowd control, which is the way we see these demonstrations, rubber bullets could have been used, or high-velocity bullets and long-range sniper rifles equipped with sophisticated optical aiming devices, end quote. But the pro-Israel activists and speakers outside were not impressed by the UN criticisms, and U.S. Ambassador to Germany Richard Grenell, for example, blasted the UN body for turning a blind eye to the human rights violations in China and Russia, for example, while focusing their criticisms on the world's sole Jewish state, saying, quote, it speaks to the integrity of the Human Rights Council that we already know what the decision will be before the vote even takes place, and it speaks to the sincerity of the Human Rights Council that its agenda is determined by those who respect its mandate the least. Then, former Israeli ambassador to the UN Dori Gold agreed, saying, how can anyone take the UN seriously when it's shown that, when it comes to Israel, its reports have been highly politicized and seriously flawed? Adding, quote, who's protecting the human rights of Israeli farmers, whose fields are regularly set ablaze by Hamas's incendiary weapons?